Welcome to the Safety Net. Today our topic is Toolbox Talks.
Welcome to the explainer. You know the drill, right? It's 6 a.m., the coffee hasn't even caked in yet, and morning safety meetings can kind of feel like just another administrative hurdle you gotta clear before the real work begins. But what if we completely reframe that? This explainer is your ultimate guide to turning a boring daily requirement into a dynamic, literal, life-saving habit. We're diving into Toolbox Talks, 5 minutes of safety that can save a life. So can just 5 minutes actually prevent a workplace accident? I know, it sounds almost too good to be true, but think about this time contrast for a second. We're talking about a mere 5 to 15 minutes before a shift. That tiny little window of time is often the only thing standing between a totally normal productive workday and a catastrophic, life-altering accident. When you weigh 5 minutes against a completely preventable injury, man, the return on investment is absolutely massive. Here's our quick roadmap for today. First, we'll cover what a Toolbox Talk actually is. Second, why those 5 minutes matter so much. Third, how to lead them effectively. And finally, common mistakes and golden rules to follow. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1. What is a Toolbox Talk? We'll go over the basics of daily safety meetings. Basically, a Toolbox Talk is a short safety meeting conducted right before the start of work or a shift. It focuses on specific workplace hazards, safe work practices, and quick reminders. Now, notice the absolute key word here, short. This isn't a 45-minute snooze fest in a stuffy site trailer. Not at all. It's a quick, targeted huddle led by a supervisor, safety officer, or team leader to ensure absolutely everyone knows exactly what they're walking into that day. 5 to 15 minutes. Honestly, that is the magic number. If you push past 15 minutes, eyes start to glaze over. Guys are checking their watches, and you've lost your crew. This is designed to be a highly efficient daily habit. It fits seamlessly right into the morning routine before the heavy lifting even begins, and it perfectly sets the tone for the entire shift. So what are we actually doing in those few minutes? Well, we're increasing hazard awareness and reinforcing safe procedures to prevent accidents. But maybe even more importantly, we are opening up communication. We're discussing lessons learned from near misses so they don't turn into tomorrow's tragedies. The main goal here is really just getting everyone on the exact same page, talking to each other and promoting a positive safety culture so they can execute their tasks securely and go home safe. Moving right along to Section 2, Why 5 Minutes Matter, let's look at the real impact of these daily safety discussions. You know, the benefits of these talks extend way, way beyond just checking a compliance box. They directly impact your bottom line and operations. Yes, you absolutely prevent accidents by identifying risks, and you improve awareness of changing site conditions, which, let's face it, can shift by the hour on a busy site. But you also drastically reduce injuries and downtime. Think about it. When you have fewer incidents and less lost time, your productivity naturally shoots up. This makes your 5-minute investment highly, highly profitable, protecting your people and your project timeline all at once. Safety is a shared responsibility and a core workplace value. I love this quote because when you hold these daily talks, a massive culture shift actually happens. It stops being just management's problem to keep people safe. Workers begin to feel empowered. They start asking questions, sharing their concerns, and actively suggesting safer ways to get the job done. That shared ownership, that is the hallmark of a truly world-class safety culture. And the real beauty of this system is just its sheer adaptability. Your topics can range from the basics, like personal protective equipment and fire prevention, all the way to highly specific hazards like confined space entry, heat stress, and lockout/tagout procedures. Depending on what's happening on site, you might cover excavation safety on a Tuesday and then pivot to slips, trips, and falls on a Wednesday. The whole shebang scales entirely to exactly what your crew is facing that very morning. Okay, Section 3, How to Lead Effectively. Let's build your daily safety playbook. Executing this flawlessly definitely requires a bit of prep. Don't just wing it out there. Choose a relevant topic, keep it right in that short 5 to 15-minute window, and please strip away the technical jargon. You want to speak simply so everyone gets it, regardless of whether they've been on the job for 20 years or 20 minutes. Demonstrate the real hazards present on your specific job site today. Invite questions to encourage participation, and always, always record attendance to maintain that proper documentation. Let's look at an example. If today's focus is working at height, you aren't just standing there telling them to be careful up there. No way. You're demanding specific action. Inspect your ladders before use, ensure absolutely everyone is wearing full body harnesses where required, and check that scaffolding is properly secured. remind the crew to never overload platforms, to always maintain 3 points of contact while climbing, and to keep work areas clean. This shows exactly how a brief talk translates into highly actionable, real-world precautions. Now, everyone has a non-negotiable role here. It's like a three-legged stool. Management is responsible for scheduling the talks and providing the necessary PPE. The supervisor or safety officer, they lead the huddle and clearly explain the day's hazards. And the worker, their job is to actively listen, follow the procedures, and speak up about risks. From upper management all the way down to the boots on the ground, every single person is a critical pillar of this process. Let's wrap things up with Section 4, Common Mistakes and Rules. We're talking about doing it right versus doing it wrong. Look, it is super easy to fall into the trap of rushing through a talk just to get it over with, or bringing up completely unrelated topics, ignoring worker feedback, or hiding behind confusing technical jargon. Honestly, that's just a waste of everyone's time, and it creates a dangerously false sense of security. Instead, you've got to follow the golden rules. Keep it brief and focused, address the actual real hazards for the day, demand active participation, and tackle any concerns immediately. That is how you transform a totally mundane administrative task into a snappy, high-impact reality that actually protects your crew. So before you wrap up your morning huddle and send everyone out, just run through this quick mental checklist. Was the topic relevant and selected ahead of time? Yep. Were the hazards explained clearly? Check. Did we review safe procedures in PPE? Was participation actually encouraged and were questions answered? And finally, is attendance recorded and signed? Try using this framework tomorrow morning to make sure you haven't missed a single beat. So here's the big question. Are you ready to take 5 minutes to save a life today? I know it sounds a little dramatic, but that tiny 5-minute window of time is literally the bedrock of an unbreakable safety culture. Consistent communication and active participation are for sure your absolute best tools on site. The next time you gather your crew in the morning chill, remember what's truly at stake here. By investing just a few minutes every single day, you are actively reducing accidents and keeping your team alive. Thanks for joining this explainer. Now get out there and stay safe.